This is how I won Rimworld Quadrants, a Rimworld PVP event. So the event just started, and I've been given a quadrant and 2.5 days until everyone fights to the death. With only a few seconds till the game unpauses, I quickly set up my pawns to start mining some stuff, and chop some trees so I can start building up a base. Built into each quadrant, there was a cave full of bugs and a volumetric power supply, so we quickly dealt with that. Before the bugs could reproduce. After that, I started building up my base, but these fences can actually be jumped over by pawns, so it made a good bit of this useless. After that, I sent my pawns to sleep for the rest of the day. The next morning, I woke up in shock, because I found out that one of the other players, Piegum, had built mortars and made shells, and they were ready to fire as soon as the grace period was over. I basically had no weapons at this time, so I quickly built a machining table and queued up some weapons to build. All that was required was 10 components to build this, so it took a little bit of mining, but I was able to find them pretty quickly because there was all these components in the middle. So my pawns got that done. After a couple of hours of machining away, I finally had my weapons and a couple of turret pawns. In this match, the grace period ended at midnight, so I'd be vulnerable to attacks for a few hours before my pawns were able to wake up, but luckily nothing happened. In the morning, we pushed on towards xovi's base. Well, xovi wasn't really expecting much of a fight. You see, while I was creating weapons, xovi was planning on playing the long game and started developing a mountain base. But, as it turns out, a half-built mountain base is nothing compared to the power of an assault rifle. So with little resistance, I was able to take out xovi's main pawn. Even with air support from Piegum, there wasn't much they could do to stop me. Piegum was a bit more challenging. He was able to find another pawn and already had a completely built-out mortar system, making it a 2v3, not in my favor. I pushed towards Piegum, but he wasn't really expecting this, so he pushed up against me with this guy with the revolver, because it doesn't have that great of an effective range. But it wasn't that great compared to my pump shotgun, so after I quickly took out his armed pawn, and he didn't have many other weapons other than the mortars, which weren't that effective at close range. Swooped around the water to flank him. Because they only had one weapon, they were basically defenseless until they were able to get their weapon back, but by then it was too late. Just like that, I was the last man standing and won the game. But if you think that you can beat me or anybody else who I played against, then feel free to join our Discord server where we play this game and a whole bunch of other ones every single week.